DMC to KING. I'ma say this once, I ain't gonna say it again. DMC in the place to be, and the place for you to be is right here with Fred White. Tales from the pen. Yeah, that's it.
Salute people, we back. Fred White, Tales from the Pen. If you're new to the channel, go down and hit the subscribe button. Click the bell notification and then click the word all. And make sure the bell is shaded in. Otherwise, you will not get my notifications. If it's shaded in, you will get my notifications and you will know every time that I post. For those who are new to the channel, my name is Fred. And I talk about my life experiences. And I talk about some of the negative choices that I've made that led to horrible consequences. I try to keep kids from making the same dumb-ass choices, some of the same dumbass decisions that I made. That's what my channel is based on. Yes, I do tell my prison stories, but I do it in a way, in a non-glorification kind of way, so these kids understand that these are scenarios and these are the things that have happened and do happen in the penitentiary. Because some of these kids are being led astray, people. Some of our children are being led astray by the negative influences that they see around them, from the TV to the radio to social media, right? Everybody wants to be lit. You know, nowadays, being an Instagram model is a profession now. Like, it's a whole different world right now. It's a whole different thing. So a lot of these kids is trying to follow these perceptions of all these people and, you know, with all their exotic clothes and trying to be like people that they're not. Because these kids' minds is easily influenced. These kids' minds is easily influenced by what they see around them. See, for me, my teenage years was filled with violence. Stabbings, cuttings. These are the things that I saw. These are the things that I was influenced by. Because of the dumbass choices that I've made in life. Trying to be something that I'm not. Trying to be something that I wasn't. Trying to be a tough guy. Trying to get a reputation. I've always been one of those kids that's just always been a fighter. Always. Elementary school on, I was always fighting. I was always getting in trouble, man. I was always back and forth between New York and New Jersey. My dad was from Inwood in Manhattan. That's where my father's from. Up there, 207th and Broadway, 204th and Broadway, all that whole area up there, Inwood. That's where my family's from. But my dad had caught, when I was like 10 years old, my dad actually caught a homicide himself. He was in jail for a little while, and he ended up beating the case, self-defense. It was my grandmother. She had a husband, and he was abusive to her. He would come home drunk, and, you know, one day, beating on the door trying to get in, and my grandmother called my dad. My dad lived in the same building. My dad came downstairs. I was maybe 10 or about 10, maybe 11. And whatever happened, happened. And my dad caught a homicide right there in that stairwell. So he ended up beating the case, but then moved. He went out to Jersey. So I was always back and forth to Jersey. Whenever I would mess up in New York, they would send me to Jersey. You know, back and forth. That's how it was. So I had a Jersey family too. Shout out to the Jamesburg crew. You know, my cousins, friends, Vanessa, everybody out there. My boy Ike, we call him Zeke out there in Trenton. Shout out. Reggie, Nate. I had, you know, Mike, Brian. We had a Robbie. We had a bunch of, you know, bunch of kids out there. So I was always back and forth to New York to Jersey. Because I was always getting in trouble. Anytime I get in trouble, go there. Anytime I get in trouble there, go there. Like I was like ping pong back and forth for a while. But I've always been a fighter. I've always been into, that life. My dad boxed, so, he used to put us on the heavy bag at a young age, and he was into the arts. Even some kids out there in Jamesburg, right? My man Reggie Taylor, he put Reggie on his first bag. Reg went on to, become a boxer. Reg was official. But my dad put him on his first bag, you know what I mean? So fighting has always been in my blood. It's just I started taking it to a different level when I hit like my teenage years. And then I came back to New York for good. I remember my first real crazy incident was like, so these other kids was coming down and we were supposed to be having a fight or whatever. And I remember I was like maybe 13, something like that, maybe 14. And I had a bat in my hand. So when they came, it was like a standoff, like dudes was talking. So I just had the bat and I was on the side and I just said it. I just ran up and said it. Like all this talking, we ain't with all this talking. I said it I hit dude with the bat. Shit popped off. But that was like one of the turning points because I set it off. I'm the one that set it off. And then after that incident, it became like people were like, oh shit, Fred's crazy, or Fred did this, Fred did that. And that reputation spread, and I liked it. I like that feeling of knowing that people knew. I loved it. And that shit just grew from there, and and it just went from bats to different weapons from then on. Because I like that feeling. I love the feeling of being in the streets. I love that feeling of standing around, getting money or doing whatever in the park and having that love and having that respect. I love that love. I love that street love. Loved it. Loved that hood love. I loved my neighborhood, man. I shed a lot of blood for my neighborhood. And I spilled a lot of blood for my neighborhood. Because I love my hood. But check this out. When I went to the penitentiary, that's when I realized that even though I love the hood didn't love me like they said they did. Nobody really gave a fuck. You know what I mean? When I call, people be there, we'd all talk on the phone, but I never got a letter. I never got money from commissary. I never got a package from the hood. Never. Went to jail, came home, and the hood was still there. With the same people. Doing the same things. I got boys that I know now that I've been from elementary school with. They're doing the same things in the hood. Hanging by the same corners type thing. I knew that wasn't going to be my destiny. Because, again, once I came home and the hood still loved me, it was different now. I didn't love the hood anymore. Guys did nothing for me in all my years in the penitentiary. Now it's love. It's false. You know what I mean? So that's why I talk about experience as the greatest teacher, because I really lived some shit. I talk mostly about prison stories and the stuff of prison, but, I lived a crazy lifestyle before that. That's why I was in prison in the first place. That's why I was always getting arrested. That's why I was arrested for 3 different times for attempted murder before I caught this homicide. 3 different ones. 3 different times. So, this is why I'm able to speak the way I speak. This is why I'm able to get into the minds of some of these street mentality. When some of these kids running around the hood acting silly, I clearly understand. Don't get it wrong. Because I lived it. And anybody that grew up with me, anybody in my neighborhood, anybody that grew up, they know. Anyone that's watching this say, yes, Fred was a certain way. Anything that happened in the neighborhood, any drama during a certain few years, period, I was in it. I was on it. I was involved with it. And even if I wasn't involved with it, they blamed me. Like, that's just the way it was. That's just how it was. But again, it was all fake love, man. You only get a couple of people in your life that's going to stay with you through thick and thin, man. That's the reality of it. That's how it is. You only get a few people in life that are going to ride with you, or that you're even going to be friends with later on in life. That's how it goes. That's how life is. You're only going to get a few people in life who don't crush your dreams too as well. Because, let me let you know something, kids. Check this out. Sometimes it's the people around you that tell you you can't do something. Sometimes it's those people around you that are dream crushers. Sometimes the people around you are the ones who are trying to set limits on what you can do, because they themselves have put limitations on their life. So they're trying to place their reality upon you and make it your reality as well. Kids, I need you to understand. You can do anything that you want to do. Anything. You just got to put time, hard work, and dedication into that. That's all. And you can do it. Don't let other people's ways and actions influence your thinking. If you want to be a vet and somebody's telling you, hey man, you're never going to be able to make it, don't listen to them. You can do anything that you want to do. You just got to believe it. You got to not let them dream crushers crush your dreams. They're your dreams. They're your goals. You can do it, because I notice sometimes it's the people around you that are like your biggest enemy when it comes to stuff like that, and telling you what you can't do. Picture somebody telling you what you can't do. You just need to look yourself in the mirror and say, I can do it. Whatever it is you want to do. I don't care what it is. Fireman, you want to be a police officer, you want to be whatever it is you want to do, you can do it. You know how people always say keep it real? You know, I keep it real. You got to keep it real with yourself. You got to keep it real with yourself. Start there. You can't keep it real with other people and you're not even real to yourself. That doesn't even make sense. Sometimes that keeping it real thing, I think, is overrated. Like when people are like, yeah, I'm in the streets, or I'm real in these streets. What does that mean, that you're real in the streets? That's just telling me, when people tell me that, that's just telling me, oh, you're willing to throw your life away for these streets. You're willing to maybe take somebody's life for these streets. You're willing to go above and beyond for these streets. we're not the same. We're not the same. I'm not willing to go above and beyond for these streets. I'm willing to go above and beyond for my family, for my babies, for my wife, my kids. I'm willing to go above and beyond for them and my family. My brother, them, my family, my family. I'm willing to go above and beyond to help and make sure everything is good. I'm not willing to go above and beyond for the streets that don't love me. I'm not willing to go above and beyond for streets that I see chew up and spit people out on a daily basis. I'm not keeping it real for the streets. I'm keeping it real for the Johnson clique, you know what I'm talking about? That's what keeping it real means to me. Keeping it real means to me is letting these people understand that there are different roads that you can take in life. And that this road that I traveled, this road right here that I traveled has nothing but thievery, deceit, murder, and mayhem. That's this road that I'm telling you that I traveled. A road so dark. A road so grimy. A road filled with so much abuse. Mental, emotional, and physical. All on this road. That's the road I traveled. So keeping it real to me is letting some of these kids know this is the road that I traveled. This is keeping it real for me. This is being as real as hell to me. That road I'm telling you about, I lived on that road for a long time. And I'm here to stop you from going down that same path that I did. Because all I did was suffer and was miserable. Because I chose that road, though. That's the sad part about this. I chose that road. Did I know all the obstacles up there? No, I didn't. So I tried to tiptoe down that road and got smashed upside my head. But now that I know that that road is there, I'm here to tell you guys, it's better to be free. Kids, it's better to stay in school. It's better to take up a trade. Go to college, do something with your life. Choose a different road. Choose a different path. Because that running around lifestyle, that gun busting lifestyle is gonna lead you nowhere but that road. And you can't say, I didn't warn you. That's what keeping it real means to me. And on that note, people, you already know. Experience is the greatest teacher. But somebody else's experience could be just as valuable if you pay attention and listen. On that note, people, Fred White, signing off.